like to give each of you a minute to kind of sum up, give some key takeaways. And we're going to do it in the sequencing of the segments. So, Jason Ford, would you please go first with some key takeaways?
Sure. So you've heard it from both of us. Be proactive. Look for things. Don't sit back and let things just happen. Don't use security by obscurity. Don't think the compliance doesn't apply to you. If you're dealing with EPHI or PHI, make sure that you're taking the necessary steps, because something will happen. I mean, it's not a question of if, it's going to be when. And try to find people who can help you. Tons of free resources on the internet. Google other frameworks. Figure out how to get those things boiled down in a way that you can leverage those for yourself, your systems. And if all else fails, there are ways of paying for those if you have to, and just get yourself audited. I mean, even if you do a self-assessment internally and you pay an auditor, a couple $1,000s to come in, someone who just wants to go through the process with you, that might be enough to get you through what you need to get through.
Thank you, Jason Ford. Connor Duffy, a minute for some key takeaways.
Sure. I think the key takeaway is, again, HIPAA and HITECH have been around for so many years now. It's just essential at this point that people are aware of and are complying with the fundamental requirements of those laws and of the regulations that have been passed under those laws. And HHS provides a good amount of guidance on these fundamental requirements. I think the government could be better in terms of helping people through the steps, but there's a lot out there for people, as Jason said, and Google's also, I think, a great resource, and there are a lot of companies that are kind of specifically tailored to helping people with their privacy and security obligations. I think it's really important, as Jason said, to be proactive and to kind of look at these types of compliance activities, which aren't always hugely attractive in terms of the amount of money you need to spend on them, but as investments in your own company, and as these OCR enforcement activities show, the money spent on something like a risk analysis and risk management policies and procedures is going to be an absolutely worthwhile event in the event of an attack and a regulatory and subsequent investigation. Because if you can show that you took those steps up front to mitigate potential risks and to address risks and to tailor your policies and procedures to the types of risks that you face, then things are going to turn out a lot better than if you neglected those things.